learned photography. So it makes me really happy that I'm able to teach you, and I cannot wait to see you again and teach you more. And I hope you're learning. And until then, Khuda Hafiz, and see you soon.
I welcome you all जिन्होंने भी ज्वाइन किया. कुछ लोग ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं, हम मीनवाइल उनका वेट करते जाएंगे. बट बिफोर दैट थोड़ा सा मैं ये भी बताना चाहूँगा कि बहुत सारे स्कॉलर्स जिन्होंने लास्ट टाइम पे अटेंड नहीं किया, कोई बात नहीं, हम आज थोड़ा सा रिकैप से शुरू करेंगे, जहाँ पे जो हमारे गेस्ट है आज के सुहेल साहब, सुहेल मीर साहब थोड़ा सा इंट्रोडक्शन देंगे. पहले हमने हमारे पिछले सेशन की हिस्ट्री के बारे में कि हमने किस चीज़ पे बात की. और जो काफ़ी सारे आज है, मुझे पता है, जिन्होंने आज पहली बार ज्वाइन किया ये सेशन फोटोग्राफी का. उनके लिए मैं ये बात ज़रूर कहना चाहूँगा कि ये जो स्किल है, हम इस पे क्यों फोकस कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि मैं अपने एक्सपीरियंस से बताऊंगा कि हमें स्टोरी टेलिंग आनी चाहिए. हम शाय हो सकते हैं, हम अपने स्किल का यूज़ कर सकते हैं, स्टोरी टेलिंग के अलग अलग मीडियम्स को सीख सकते हैं. तो जो हमने लास्ट टाइम पे अपार्ट फ्रॉम हैविंग फर्स्ट सेशन ऑन फोटोग्राफी, हमने विजुअल स्टोरी टेलिंग का भी एक सेशन किया था. तो जो कहीं ना कहीं सेम पेस पे ही दोनों चीज़ें चल रही है. बट हमारा जो ओवरऑल इंटेंशन है कि हम ये चाहते हैं कि आपके लाइफ में हम आपको कैपेसिटेट करें नए स्किल से, जो आपको रोज़मर्रा की लाइफ में बहुत काम आएंगे. अभी के टाइम पे आप पिक्चर्स लेते हैं फ़ोन से किसी भी तरीके से, या इनफैक्ट बहुत सारे लोग ऑब्सेशन के शिकार होते हैं. लाइटर नोट पे मैं बता रहा हूँ कि अपने सेल्फीज लेने में अच्छा लगता है उनको, और उसमें कुछ गलत नहीं है. या कुछ नेचर पिक्चर्स लेते हैं, कुछ वाइल्ड लाइफ फोटोग्राफी करते हैं, अलग अलग तरह की करते हैं. बट हमारे पास चूंकि ये हुनर नहीं होता है क्वांटिफाई करने का, समझने का कि क्या ये कहानी बताता है कि नहीं बताता, हम अपने हिसाब से क्वांटिफाई कर लेते हैं. तो जो हमने अगर हम पुराने सेशन पे जिसपे हमारे गेस्ट फिर से बात करेंगे, वो ये था कि कहानी आप किस तरीके से दर्शा सकते हैं एक एक फोटोग्राफ पिक्चर में, आप किस तरीके की कहानी लोगों के सामने लाना चाहते हैं, क्या वो उसी तरीके से आती है कि नहीं, या व्हाट इज अ गुड फोटोग्राफ, हम अच्छा पिक्चर किसको बोल सकते, फोटोग्राफ किसको बोल सकते हैं. आज मैं ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लूँगा, हम सेशन पे सीधे आते हैं. बट जो थोड़ा सा हमने लास्ट टाइम सेशन शुरू किया, उससे हम रिकैप करके हम आगे बढ़ते हैं. तो हमारे बीच में मैं आप सबको चाहूँगा जो नए आज ज्वाइन किया, अपने आप को इंट्रोड्यूस करके वेलकम करिए फिर से हमारे गेस्ट का, मिस्टर सुहेल मीर साहब का. He is an attorney and photo instructor, and also he runs an academy, Mears Academy. मैं उनकी लिंक भी भेजता हूँ आपको थोड़े टाइम में. So over to you, Suhail sir.
Okay. जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम, वेलकम बैक. मुझे बहुत बहुत खुशी होती है आपसे मिलके, and it gives me a great pleasure that I'm able to share my experiences and a little bit of knowledge that I have gathered in about 25 years of my photography career. Hopefully, by the end of these sessions, you'll be able to, utilize your skills and take your photography to the next level. So I would like to thank again KEI and Umar Saab for organizing these sessions. I think it's wonderful, it's amazing. And I don't think you guys will appreciate how lucky we all are, because when I was growing, there was nothing like this. We had no guides, we had nobody to tell us what to do. So having said that, I'm not trying to tell you that I'm doing you a favor. I don't think so, absolutely not. Actually, I believe that you guys are giving me a favor, that you're allowing me to teach you and share my experiences with you. So my only confusion, I would say, is always which language do I speak with you? So I'm going to do a mix. I think that's what you guys do. I would have loved to teach you in Kashmiri, but I think there are going to be some problems with that because there's lots of terms that are in English in photography, so it will sound pretty odd to do that. So inshallah, well, I'll try to keep it mostly English. I'll use some Urdu in between. So let's get started. So this is technically our third session, but first session didn't go that well because of some technical difficulties. The second session, I gave you an overview of what photography is and how to tell a story. But if you have missed the first session, because I can see we have about 80 some participants. So if there are some new participants here, new students, for them, you haven't missed anything, honestly. So what we're going to do, like I said in that video, I'm going to break down these sessions very slowly, so that anybody from complete beginner to almost advanced can understand. So आपको कभी-कभी लगेगा कि some of this information is too much, so don't panic. Take whatever you can and then come back to the rest because this is going to be recorded anyways. You can always go back and watch it again, or you can ask me questions. You can email me. You already have my information. If you don't, Umar Saab is going to get that to you. We have still people coming in, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you very soon. But before I do that, I want to tell you briefly what we did last time. We said photography is basically telling your story, right? Like Umar said in the beginning. And also it is about how do I tell my story? I think that's more important. That's where composition comes into play, right? You have a story in your mind, and then you want to know, how do I compose it now? How do I tell my story to people? And that's where skills and experience comes into play. And it's not going to happen overnight. Actually, what is my story is also going to take a long time for you to figure out, because that's what we call, how do I see? So I'm going to go over that real quick, and then we can move on to breaking down these techniques part by part. So let me go ahead and first tell you about what is my story. So how do I see things? And this is a skill that can be learned. And I said last time that people will tell you this is a God-given gift, and it's not my cup of tea, and I don't have this. This is all a lie, and these all statements are misleading. I don't want you to think like that, because God has given to every human being everything possibly a human being can have. So it's up to you to bring that out. It's up to you to sort of polish it and figure out what it is that you are good at. But you can be good at anything you want. So don't let that let you down. So let's talk about, what do I mean by how do I see? How do I know that this is my story? How can I recognize this story? Okay, and it does sound pretty complicated, but it honestly is not. You can just break it down into steps, like baby steps, we call them. And that's how I learned it. I'm sure there are other techniques out there. People are going to tell you do this or that. That's fine. You can also look at that and try those too. Let me tell you what I did to learn how to see things. So every day when we go out, we look at so many things, but we can't see everything. Why don't we see everything we look at? That's because it has nothing to do with us. That's because we're not concerned about it. That's because everything doesn't relate to us, right? So our brain sort of ignores it. So let me give you an example. Say, for example, you want to buy a scarf, a yellow scarf, and you really love yellow color and you want to buy a yellow scarf. So you leave your home thinking, I'm going to buy a yellow scarf, no other color. I just want to buy a yellow scarf. You know what's going to happen? What's going to happen that once you get out, you're going to see everything yellow. You're going to, whatever you look at, it's going to be yellow because this is on your mind, right? And you are thinking about it. You relate to it because, so same thing with, this is an example I give to to adult students. I know I have lots of young students here. So for example, if there is a female and she is going to give birth to a child, she's pregnant. When she goes to a store or to a market, what's going to happen? She sees pregnant women everywhere. Does that mean that when she wasn't pregnant, those pregnant women were not there? No, that's not true. They are always there. It had nothing to do with her when she wasn't pregnant. So that's exactly what I mean by seeing. It has to be on your mind. It has to be somewhere in your system that you're looking for something. When you have that, you'll begin to see that. Same pregnant woman, when she has a child, she will start seeing strollers and children they were already always there, but she just had nothing to do with that. Another example would be, say you're in China, okay? And all of a sudden you hear somebody speaking Kashmiri. I'm sure it has happened to everybody. So somebody speaking in Kashmiri, there's aapke kaan khade ho jate hain, right? You just want to know who is it. You just look around and your heart beats so fast. Why? Because that person speaks your language. You don't expect that to see that. It's always on your mind and you can right away relate, right? So my suggestion for you would be do this, and this is what I did, is pick a subject. Say, aaj main jaunga to the park and I will want to take pictures of leaves that are dead. You can go in spring and summer and you say, I want to find dead leaves because summer may have spring mein dead leaves are nazar nahi aate na. But there's always somewhere a dead leaf out there. Jo bhi aap jaoge na, you will start seeing dead leaves because that's what you want to do, correct? So do it part by part. Every time you go out, pick a subject. So what's going to happen is aapke dimag mein, you're going to build a database of these things. And then when you go out, without even thinking, those things are going to pop up. And you're going to train your eye to see new things every day. So that's what I meant by seeing, and there is a lot more to it. But I hope this little exercise can help you. It has helped me, and it has helped lots of my students. Okay, so work on that. Now that I know what my story is, because if you don't know what your story is, what are you going to write? You're not going to be able to write. Even if I give you a golden pen, you won't be able to write anything if you don't know what to write. So recognize your story, train your eye slowly, and anybody can help that, learn that. Anybody can learn that, as long as you have drive to do that. So before I move on to other things, I just want to tell you what has photography given me, and what can it give to you. I really like what Umar said in the beginning, is photography is going to help you in every aspect of your life, not just enjoying taking pictures. Because like I said, you'll be able to learn things. You also will be able to appreciate nature. That's what happened to me. So many things I was taking for granted before I got into photography. You will appreciate nature. You will appreciate what God has given us. You will appreciate little details. You will appreciate people. You will appreciate beauty. Every human being you look at, you will find them beautiful. And you will try to find a way to make them even more prettier when you want to photograph them. Okay, that's what this will give you. All you need is passion and a drive. Work really, really hard. You're going to get to a point jahan par aapko log kahenge, this person is crazy. He's nuts, right? As soon as you hear those words, you should thank those people, because that's a really good sign that you are really passionate about this art, right? So work hard, work like a crazy, crazy person. Take pictures every time and take them properly with a method, like I said. And now let's go ahead and break down our session into different parts. So first thing I said last time is your photograph has to have a uniqueness. It shouldn't be like you go in front of a subject and then take a picture, because it's going to look like any other photo that people have already taken. So the idea is to make it unique. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll start looking at it. So Omar, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, what's my story, right?
Yeah. How do I tell my story?
Okay, good. All right. तो last time हमने बात की थी कि uniqueness, and I told you कि uniqueness does not mean कि it has to be one of a kind. It has to be unicorn. You don't have to go out and look for a unicorn. You have to go out and find something and then try to create your own story, right? So what is your story? It could be Taj Mahal, like I said, but it could be taken in a way so that it is very different and unique, and it's not one of those shots that everybody has taken. Let me just show you some examples, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and show you this one photo first. This is a place in America. It's in Washington, D.C., and it's called the Washington Monument. And it is a very famous place. I mean, millions of people visit this place. There are lots of other things here too, but this one is very iconic. It's very prominent. So this is what people do. You can see the picture. I haven't taken this picture. You can see I downloaded from internet, and they will just stand in front of the monument and they will take a picture like this. Again, it could be a nice photo, but it is not your story. It is something that people have already done so many times. Now, what I'm going to do, when I go there, I always try to find a different angle to just this subject. And you can do this exercise too. You can just pick one subject and shoot it from different angles. And so here are, let me just see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different angles of the same building, okay? So let me just pay attention and just look at it very carefully. So this is one shot of the same place. And there are certain techniques I've used. We're going to talk about them very in full detail soon. Same place, same place. You can see I'm constantly looking for, I'm just going to go out full screen. It's slow this way. Okay. That was 4th, and this is 5th, 6th. And here is a very deep and detailed story in this shot, which maybe at some other point I'll tell you what that is. 7th, same place. 8, 9, this is the reflection of the same monument in water. 10, this is the reflection of that monument, but then I switched my picture. I turned it upside down. That's a reflection in water again, picture turned upside down. And here is another shot. So about 11 photographs of same thing. And every single shot is different, is unique. And that's when people will say, if they look at this photo, I guarantee you, every person I show who lives in Washington, D.C., when I show them this, and they say, wow, where was this picture taken? So what location are you at in this? So you don't want to give people this, right? That's my point. You don't want to give people this. It could have been Taj Mahal, for example. So it's boring because I know I have seen it a million times. All right. Now, how do I tell my story? Now, learning what my story is a process, and it will take you time. But how do I tell my story would be, how do I now compose it? That I have seen a story, I have seen something that I want to take a picture of. Now my strategy is, my process is कि मैं कैसे इस खूबसूरत चीज को जो भी आपने देखी और आपकी जो कहानी है इसको मैं कैसे लोगों के पास पहुंचाऊं। पहले मैं इसको कैसे खींचूं, हाउ डू आई ऑर्गेनाइज इट, एंड देन उसके बाद हाउ डू आई डिलीवर इट। जब कोई कहानी पढ़ेगा, हाउ डू आई रीड योर स्टोरी। Remember, you are Y-O-U-R uppercase. It has to be your story. They should be able to read. Meaning कि आपने उस फोटोग्राफ में उन लोगों को उतनी सारी चीजें दी हैं जिससे उनको हेल्प मिलता है कि वो आपकी स्टोरी पढ़े. Correct? Guides, and we're going to talk about those guides too. And you will see what I mean by that. All right. The first thing we want to do is plan a shot. कि आपने स्टोरी देखी है. Now you're going to start planning कि मैं इस कहानी को कैसे फ्रेम करूं और कैसे फिर डिलीवर करूं. आपको ये समझ रहा होगा, आप you must be thinking कि this is, I might not have this much time. What if my scene goes away? This is really a long process. I have to first look, then I have to think, then I have to compose. But I promise you, this happens in a fraction of a second. जब आप बहुत practice करोगे, you're going to get to a point जहां पर आपको ये seconds में हो जाता है. You see something, you know how to compose it. सारी ये thinking बहुत तेजी से आती है. Okay. All right. Now you can see this is our first step in the process of composing. Distraction, balance, and aid. हमें अब अपनी कहानी लोगों को सुनानी है. So if your photograph has distractions in it, meaning कि कोई और कहानी चल रही है या लोग जब फोटो की तरफ देख रहे हैं वो कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं, यार इसकी कौन सी कहानी अब है, what is this guy trying to show me? That's called the distraction. अगर आपके फोटोग्राफ में distractions हैं, फिर आपकी कहानी सही नहीं बनेगी. Correct? So you have to think about what is it that you want to keep in your shot, but also it's very important to know what do you want to leave out, right? These are both very important elements of a photograph. What do you want to leave out? You want to think about that too. अब leave out में ये problem हो सकता है कि that could be part of your story, but at the same time, it is overpowering. It just kills your main story. अब मैं अभी आपको तस्वीरें दिखाऊंगा जिससे आपको पता चलेगा what I mean. So don't panic अगर आपको समझ नहीं आ रहा है. मैंने कुछ तस्वीरें कस्टमाइज की हैं आपके क्लास के लिए, just for you guys. They are a little bit funny, so it's okay, you can laugh, but these are very seriously done and बहुत सारी hard work in photographs में, in illustrations में गई है. So I hope you guys will appreciate it. So I'm going to show you what I mean. First, let me just show you this picture. Okay? तो इस फोटोग्राफ में अगर आप देखेंगे कि इसमें इतनी सारी चीजें पड़ी हैं, you go look at it, just look at this picture. मुझे आप ये बताएं कि आपकी आंखें, आपकी नजरें कहाँ पे ठहरती हैं इस शॉट में? I can guarantee you nowhere. Nowhere. I mean, some people could argue maybe this musical instrument because it is the only different thing out of all these things. That's true. That could be it, but still the photo doesn't work because it is very confusing. It is too noisy. There is so much stuff in this photo. So it can confuse you for sure. अब for example, अगर मैं photographer होता और मुझे ये दिखाना होता कि मैं आपको ये musical instrument दिखाऊं, correct? So I failed because you guys are going to look at it, you're going to say, I can hardly see it. It's lost in all this clutter. इतनी सारी चीजें पड़ी हैं. So, but don't remember, I just don't want to confuse you. अगर कोई भी photograph is not bad. A bad photo does not exist. So this by no means is a bad photo. क्यों? क्योंकि अगर मेरी स्टोरी ये होती कि मैं आपको ये दिखाऊं कि मेरा किचन कितना messy है, right? Then I'm telling you that story right here in this shot. That my kitchen is very messy. So it has a story in the shot. But that wasn't my story. My story was to show you my ukulele, this little instrument. So I obviously failed to do that. So this is what I mean by distractions. And there's a lot of clutter. You got to figure out how do you isolate your subject. In this case, it would have been extremely easy. All I had to do pick up my uke from there, place it on a nicer place, and then take a picture. Then to take it to the next level, I could ask somebody to play the uke for me and add that part of the story to the shot, right? And then you can just keep adding and adding and adding as long as there's a balance and the story comes together and people can read your story. So now let's look at some really interesting and funny photographs, and I hope you guys will appreciate it, and I hope I don't get in trouble because I have used somebody in this photo. I hope that guy is okay with that. So let's actually go. Okay, this is a photograph I had taken a couple of years ago. So as you can see, a pretty woman wearing a red dress, and then there are flowers. Flowers and her red dress, as you can see, they complement each other. They don't take anything away from each other. Like flowers, normally red flowers would cause a problem because then people will look at that. But I have sort of blurred them a little bit. And then I have placed my subject in a way so that those flowers don't take it away from her, right? There are flowers in front of her, purple, there are flowers overhead, but everything, whenever you look at the shot, you see her, right? You see my story and the way she's posed. I mean, that was very important too. And there are certain angles in the shot that were done on purpose. If you see on the right-hand side, this area here, I added that to the photo because I'm going to add something else to it later. This wasn't there. So before I show you the next photo, I'm just going to tell you a little story. It's not a true story, but it's a kind of an illustration. Say, for example, the same lady, she wants to go to a party and she bought this dress, very, very expensive dress and very pretty dress. And she wants to show off. She wants to go to a party and she wants to tell people, look, I have this dress and I want you to look at it. So then she decides to take a friend with her to the party. And that friend happens to be somebody really important. Say, for example, say Shah Rukh Khan, okay? So she's friends with Shah Rukh Khan and she decides to take Shah Rukh Khan with her. When she goes to the party, what do you think is gonna happen, right? Nobody's gonna look at her dress. Nobody's gonna look at her. Everybody is going to chase Shah Rukh Khan because Shah Rukh Khan is more popular, more dominant, and he's going to take it away from her. So if she was my story, she was in the frame with Shah Rukh, I lost her, right? So what are her options? She still wants to take Shah Rukh with her, but at the same time, she wants her dress to be seen, or herself to be seen by other people and complimented. So what are her options? Option one would be, first option, we don't take him. So now if you really want to take him, would be to camouflage him, like maybe hide him under beard and a hat so people don't recognize Shah Rukh. That would work. So the Shah Rukh goes to party with her and she's admired and people compliment her. And the other thing which I would prefer that she could do is use Shah Rukh Khan as an aid to help her show herself in her dress. So Shah Rukh can go on a stage and say, ladies and gentlemen, meet my best friend, look at her dress. This is really cool, I love it. And everybody will start looking at her and her dress. Now let's run this illustration through photographs. And then I will show you a real photo after that. Okay, here she's by herself, right? Now we are introducing Shah Rukh Khan in the shot. Without his permission, copyright, I hope he doesn't get mad. So आप देखें कि all of a sudden इस photograph में क्या हुआ? No, people who know Shah Rukh Khan, they're going to ignore her because she's not important anymore. You see that? So even though Shah Rukh Khan is not looking at us, even though he's looking down, a people photograph, portrait में, eyes are extremely compelling. If you have 10 people in a shot and one person is looking at the camera and 9 are not, that one person who is looking at the camera, if he's sharp enough, is going to be the main subject. He is going to rule that photograph. Just remember that. You might have seen wedding photos where there are other people in the shot. The photographer creates and asks the groom and bride to look at the camera, and everybody else looks away. Those are techniques that photographers use to tell their story. So now we know that Shah Rukh overpowered this whole photograph. How do we now make Shah Rukh not the main subject, but her, the main subject? We want to leave Shah Rukh in the shot because he's part of the story. He's with her. We don't want to take him away. Now watch this next shot, and आप लोगों के पास छोटे phones हैं. I'm not sure if you'll be able to appreciate this, if you'll be able to see this clearly. Now, this is very, very minor difference in this shot and this shot. So what did I do in this one? I blurred Shah Rukh Khan. I blurred him. So now what happens to the human eye when they look at a photo? Eyes always go to the sharpest part of the picture. They refuse to see blurred stuff. So I used a technique where I'm now forcing you to ignore Shah Rukh. He's still part of the story though, very important, don't forget that. But he's not my main story anymore, correct? Now, that would be how you balance your shots. How do you make sure people read your story? So that's really one way of teaching you this. And now let's use the third one. Let's now use Shah Rukh Khan to guide my story so that Shah Rukh can tell you, hey, look at this is literally Shah Rukh saying, look at her, right? So literally, obviously in photographs, this is not the right way to do it. But I'm just trying to tell you so that you can understand what I mean. So now, if you look at Shah Rukh, you're going to look at her. He's taking you there, right? So that's what I meant by using other elements in your story to tell your story. That adds content to your story. You don't want to just take those things out. You want to leave things in there. Landscape photographs. Remember this is a common mistake that most of the people make. In landscape or nature photos, people wait for other people to leave the scene so that they could take a picture. That's a big, big mistake. Because human beings are part of the nature. You want to leave them in the shot. You don't want to take them out. Include them in the shot and create that story. Show people that how beautiful this place is and how other people there are enjoying the beauty, right? So don't forget that. The next time you take a nature photo, don't wait for people to leave. Include them in the shot. Use your Shah Rukh Khan as your guide, okay? So I'm going to now take you to the photo which we saw last time. And this photo has everything I just explained to you. Everything that I just explained to you. Now, जब आप लोगों ने last time ये photo देखी, you didn't appreciate it as much as you will appreciate it now. Okay? So now let's break this photo down. अब देखें, ये जो सारा जो scene है, other than this photographer in the shot, that's my lady with the red dress. जो मैंने आपको अभी दिखाई. So that's my story. I want to show people the beauty of this landscape. Now, I could have waited for this guy to leave. I could have told him, could you please leave so that I can just take a picture of my story? No, that would have been a big mistake. Because now we have another element, another content in the shot, right? अब आप देख सकते हो कि इस photographer ने, this photographer in the shot is our Shah Rukh Khan. Okay, he's our Shah Rukh Khan in the shot. Why is he Shah Rukh Khan? Why is he so important? For two reasons. Reason one, इन्होंने लाल jacket पहनी है. Most powerful color that ever exists. So your eyes will go to that. It's going to take my story away from me. It just goes there. Dusra reason why he's Shah Rukh Khan is because he is unique. He is very different from everything else in that photograph. So that photograph is all about rocks and water and trees and plants and whatever. And he is a human being, which is completely different from everything else. And on top of that, he has a blue hat, and there is this piece of metal hanging around his neck, which is called camera, and there is a tripod. Now, see how I use Shah Rukh Khan to present my photo, my story. When you look at him, he's looking at my story, and you really want to know what he's looking at, what he's taking pictures of. So eyes go to him, he takes you to my scene, to my story. You got me now? That's how we balance things in a shot. And if there was something else that would take it away from my main story, I would then not include that in the shot. I can't think of anything like that. Maybe there was something really, really bright here and had no details, I would take it out. So there are certain things you don't want to include. I hope you can understand now what I meant by telling your story and using other things in the shot to tell your story and enhance the content of the story and enhance the beauty of your story. Okay? Now I'm going to show you one more picture along those lines. This picture I took, I think 10 years ago. My most favorite photograph ever. I love this photo for so many reasons. Okay, so I'm going to show you certain things. Let me just take this out. Just like that picture I showed you before, this photograph. Okay, we have a lot of stuff in this. Normally, you don't want to do that. Okay, normally you don't want to use too much because then people get confused. They don't know what to look at, right? Unless everything comes together in the photo, which does in this shot. हर एक चीज आपस में related है or connected है. Okay, and I'm going to break this photo down for you, piece by piece, ताकि आपको समझ आए कि मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ. Okay. Look at it and think about it. Is there a story in the picture? Is there a story? There is not a story in the picture. There are stories in the picture. इसमें बहुत सारी stories चल रही हैं at the same time, and all these stories are part of the same big plan. So this is a huge, big plot, and it has little stories running, and all these stories are interconnected. Let's break it down. Let me just take this, and let me just take this tool, and let me just draw a little circle. Okay. Here is our story number one, or it could be story number three, but here is one story. इस story में, let me zoom in. इस story में, there are two ladies and a little baby, right? They are in their own world. There are like 15 people in that shot, but these three people are in their own world. They have nothing to do with what's going on around them, but that's a story by itself. Okay, so let's actually zoom out, go back, and let's move this to these three people, or maybe even four. They have their own story. They're in their own world, doing their thing. I'm not sure what he was teaching them. He was showing them something. So he's in their own universe. And now take that out and take this to this lady over here. And let me bring it in. She is in her own world. Something on that phone is making her smile or happy. So it's a sort of a mystery, right? But it is a story by itself. So let's get out of there. Now, see this person here and this person here. I just want to know if you guys were paying attention when I showed you that landscape shot. What is happening here? Let's bring this person close. How is this person helping us in this story? He is guiding us. He is telling us, look over there. क्योंकि For example, अगर आप सड़क पे चल रहे हो ना और बहुत सारे लोग हैं वहां पर, and then all of a sudden somebody points towards the sky, right? And somebody is looking towards the sky. अब जो भी बंदा उस बंदे की तरफ देखेगा ना, वो भी आसमान की तरफ देखेंगे. They want to know what this guy is seeing, what this guy is looking at. This is human nature. So this is called, I forgot the name. I think virtual leading line. I may be wrong, but this is a leading line. This is telling you, look over here. Let me just zoom out so that I can show you. So this person is telling you, look over there. So he's taking you there. And this lady is doing the same thing. He's asking you to look at them. All right, and then this is one more story. These two people are going into the room. And let's just get out of there. Did you just see what happened in that photo? You probably would have never thought about it. But now, why is this photograph now a one-piece photo? That's because it is shot on somebody's porch, somebody's house, which gives us a feeling that all these people are somehow related to each other, right? So that's one, let me just take it out. That's one factor that works here and makes this photograph very successful, in my opinion. You could have different opinion, but that's what I feel about this photo. That's what you have to see. I mean, okay, now I see photograph, it just didn't happen. It was all planned. It was all very, very carefully planned. And then whenever you plan something, you're gonna also get lucky. I got lucky, why? Because first of all, I got these beautiful stories going on. Most importantly, if you were paying attention before, I got lucky because nobody is looking at the camera. If you look at these people again, nobody is looking at the camera. I'm right there in front of them. Well, how does that change anything? अगर इन बंदों में से किसी ने भी मेरे कैमरा की तरफ देखा होता, that person would have become the most powerful element or most powerful person in that shot. Because then every viewer's eyes would have gone there first. So I'm not sure if that would have spoiled the shot, but that definitely would have thrown the balance a little bit off. So yes, I definitely got lucky after, but I planned it very carefully. It just didn't happen. Now, did you understand what I mean by distraction, balance, and aid? So take a picture, take distractions out, try to balance your shot and see what other elements you want to leave there so that they help tell my story. And then you also want to know what other elements do I want to leave in the shot so they can help tell my story. Like we use Shahrukh pointing hands, or that photographer taking a picture of my story and helping me aid tell my story, right? So I hope that was pretty helpful. Now let's move on to planning part. अभी हमने planning की बात की ना. अब now how do I plan my photo? How did I get this shot? So let's talk about little planning. Again, I have some very useful illustrations for you, and I hope they will help. So let's go to the planning part. Planning. How do I plan my shot? Now, let's do this exercise. Let's, for example, हमें किसी का portrait लेना है. There's a person and we want to take a picture of that person. Just a portrait shot. Nothing more than that. We're not telling a story. We're just trying to show what that person looks like. That's our plan, right? So अगर हमने planning नहीं की होती, नहीं की, so we're gonna end up probably either missing the shot, or what's gonna happen is we may not get the right photo right away. So let's go through 4 steps of this photograph and tell you how to plan your shots. Here is one photo. This, I'm sure, is dark. It is meant to be dark on purpose. It simply does not work. First problem, we can't see her face. Can we hardly see her face? So why is that? Why is she not bright enough? Why can't see her face, right? That's because she's looking away from the light source. हमारी light जो है वो left side इस window से आ रही है. And she's looking in the opposite direction. अगर हमें इनका portrait लेना होगा ना, तो पहली चीज हमें देखनी होगी कि यार light कहाँ से आ रही है. So anytime you take a photograph, you gotta watch the light. Remember, photography is writing with light. If you are not using your light properly, you're gonna fail. So we can use light very creatively. That we can talk about some other time. But right now, let's keep it simple. So इस photograph में, she is dark. That's because the light source is here. Let's fix that, okay? Let's tell her to move in that direction. Again, this photograph is far from being right, but at least we can see her face, right? We can see her face. Good, so we at least succeeded in one part. Now, this photograph, last time मैंने आपको overview दिया था, has lots of technical issues in there. Technically, it's a wrong photograph. It's dead center. There is a lot of stuff happening in the background which is distracting. जो अभी हमने बात की, not helping enhance her. Nothing is helping here. Okay, so we need to now find out how do I get rid of the stuff in the background. जो पीछे इनके जितनी भी चीजें हैं, unless we want to use them at a positive part of the story. But for this example, we are not. We're just concerned about just her. How do I do that? Right? Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to think about it. So one way would be to what? Ask her to move to a different spot, correct? Since it's a portrait which is posed, we can do that. We can ask our subject to move to a different spot. We can put our subject anywhere we want. Not always possible. That wouldn't be possible in two scenarios. One, or maybe three, at least in two. If you are taking a candid photo of a person, meaning उस बंदे को पता नहीं है कि आप photograph ले रहे हो, then you cannot tell the person to move, because that person will then know you are taking the picture, and आपकी सारी जो candidness, if that's a word, is going to get lost. You will fail, right? So you can't tell them. What do we do in that sense, in that situation? We move. The photographer moves. Without telling the person, we go around and try to take a picture. Correct? And find a different background by moving around. Again, दूसरी बात ये होती है ना, अगर ये बंदा नहीं होता, say for example, it was a tree. You cannot tell a tree to move to a better location. You will have to move. It's a building, you will have to move, correct? Now, that's what I did. I said, okay, could you please move to a different location? Perfect. Now we have the lighting, she's facing the light. We don't have any distractions in the background. And it's a pretty nicely exposed shot, right? Then I took it further one more step. I just asked her to look into the camera. Remember I told you, जब कोई camera की तरफ देखता है, it becomes more compelling. There is more story to it. There's more story in this shot than that shot, because eyes tell the story, right? So she's smiling, she's happy. By the way, this whole photo shoot was pretty painful for her. She didn't want to do it. बहुत साल पहले किया हुआ है, तकरीबन 10 साल पहले. So yeah, you can see she was so bored. Did you see me? Now, let me just put all these 4 photos at one spot, because I want to show you something. I'm going to put them in one frame. I went from the photo from left top to right top to bottom left to bottom right. I took 4 photos and finally got the 4th photo, which I wanted. If you had planned this shot before you even picked up your camera, right? You would have straight gone to photo number 4, which is this. You didn't have to go through these 3 steps. You didn't have to do this, this, and finally this. Now, we have 2 issues with not planning a shot. Issue number one, you're going to lose the moment. You're going to lose the scene if you take that much time. That's why you pre-plan your photos. Number two, she's going to get tired. She's going to say, you know, I'm not going to do this. You're taking so many photos, just pick one. Also, if you are a professional photographer and you happen to take portraits of people, and those people happen to be famous, which I want you to do at some point, they are very famous, they don't have time. I have taken pictures of people, I tell you, they had 2 or 3 minutes for me. So if I don't do that in those 2 minutes, they're gonna leave. They don't have time. They're so busy and rich, and they have no time for you to wait that to go through 5 different photos so that you can get the one good one. So plan your shot, and know what you're doing, know where the light is coming from, know what the background looks like, and then go for the final, I wouldn't say kill, go for the final shot. See? So that is the process of planning. And it applies to what? It applies to landscape photos too. Photographers, when you see those amazing landscape photos on the internet, and you say, wow, this guy is amazing. Let me give you a little secret. They also take terrible shots because they don't want to show those to you. The reason their photos are so good is because they go to that spot more than one time. Not always, but most of the times. They will shoot it in the morning, they will shoot it in the evening, they will shoot it in the rain, they will shoot it in clouds, and try to figure out what is the best shot. Sometimes you get lucky, you get it right away, but you can't get lucky every time, right? That simply is not going to happen. So you'll have to go through the process. So plan your shot and don't just snapshot. Don't just pick up your camera and start taking pictures. All right, so we are at 9:56. I'm going to go now talk about the first rule. And that's all we'll be doing today. We'll be talking about just one rule, one technique, and then inshallah next time we'll go to the next technique or maybe more than one technique. This rule is known as what? We sort of touched it yesterday, last week, rule of thirds. Rule of thirds is basically, don't put your subject dead center. Let me tell you something about these rules. आप याद रखें, सारी जो techniques or rules है ना, they are meant to be broken. Don't get stuck up on these कि teacher ने हमें ये सिखाया है and that's what we need to do. No, you cannot keep stuff dead center. क्योंकि उन्होंने कहा not to do it. No, I don't want you to do that. But I want you to know the rule and then use your own brain eventually when you're good at it. Break it, try it different ways. So rule of thirds is don't place anything dead center. So for example, this tomato or tomato, you don't want to put it in dead center like this. These 9 boxes, like tic-tac-toe, it's a grid and every camera has it, almost every camera. Even your cell phone has it. So I would highly recommend engage it. So turn that function on in your camera so that this grid is there. Also very important for videographers if you're doing videos. Very helpful tool. And all these rules apply to videos, by the way. If you are a videographer and not a photographer, all these rules will apply to you. Photography is videography, just frozen. All right, so I would take this photo like this. Not here, but here, okay? Same thing with this. Don't place it dead center, place it on one side. So that's one part of rule of thirds. It has a couple more parts, but that's one part. Now, I know somebody is going to ask me, I hope they do, okay? You were telling us place the subject either here or on one of these intersections, that's a rule. But how do I know which side? Should I put it on this side or this side? Like in tomato, you saw it was on the left side of these lines, right? But on this flower, I put it on the right-hand side. How do I decide which side to put? Or does it really matter which side I should be putting that on? Absolutely, it matters. That's the second part of the story of rule of thirds. It does matter what side you're going to put it on. Let me just show you that. Let's look at this. And let me just put the grid on it. Hopefully you can see that. Now see, I have placed this person on the left side of the grid, not on the right side of the grid. Why? Because I want to give space in front of him so that we can feel कि ये बंदा जो है boat right side की तरफ जा रहा है. It has room there, right? So there's a sense of a flow, sense of motion in that shot. You do not want to block that. Let me just show you. Let's just put him on the right-hand side, somewhere here. Now see what happened? He's going nowhere. It just feels pretty claustrophobic. लगता है जैसे ये बंदा बिल्कुल फंस गया है. If that's what your story was, then that's fine. But I don't think that was your story, right? So that's how you decide which side to put it on. You just figure out कि किस तरफ ये चीज जा रही है और या किस तरफ ये बंदा देख रहा है. Leave space on that side, जिस तरफ वो देख रहा है या जिस तरफ वो जा रहा है. So, and rule of thirds also helps us tell a story, by the way. It gives a sense of motion, sense of flow, and we can see what's going on in the shot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you one illustration जो मैंने आप लोगों के लिए तैयार की है to help you understand the sense of motion better. कि फोटोग्राफ को देख के बंदे को ये फीलिंग आ रही है कि ये चीज जो है किसी डायरेक्शन में जा रही है और you don't want to confuse people कि this is going in some other direction. You know what I mean? Let me just show you. So hopefully, let me just close this and show you this. Umar, you are on the line?
Yeah.
आप देख रहे हो screen इस वक्त?
Yes.
Okay, good. So what do you see now?
I can just see the old picture of this person on the boat.
What do you see? I'm sorry?
पुरानी पिक्चर ही दिख रही है मुझे जो बोट वाली थी, बट मुझे लगता है सिस्टम हैंग हो गया आपका.
Okay, so let me just fix that. I have no idea what happened. So
can you just
do you see like a picture with a grid on it?
No, I can still see the old picture only.
You're seeing the old picture, okay. All right. I think I know how to do it. I'm going to just switch my screen. Now?
Yeah, now I can see the one.
Okay, good. So I know what to do. I have to switch the screen every time I change the application. I have to switch the screen. Okay, हम सब सीख रहे हैं साथ-साथ. So there's going to be a little delay. So how much time do we have?
We have half an hour, you know.
Because I want to take some questions too. So let me just go real quick through this. All right. Now you see what's happening here. ये एक गाड़ी है जो, let's assume it's moving. There's a driver in it, and it's dead center. So just think about it like this: कि यार, I was stuck in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? That's what the feeling I get here. Looks like this car is going nowhere. It's right in the dead center, right? There's no sense of direction because according to the rule of thirds, I should have placed him on one of these lines. Probably here, right? Now it has space in front of it and it's going in that direction. You see that? Let's close that picture. Let's show you this picture. No, let me not go there first. Let me just show you this picture. आप देखें, what feeling do you get here? You right away understand that ये गाड़ी खराब है और ये बंदा इसको push कर रहा है. Now this car is not going forwards, it's going backwards. That's why I left space behind the car. Okay, because he's pushing it in the front and it's going back. Now if this guy was pushing it from the back, then I would move it to this side, right? That would make sense. Now let's go a little creative about that shot. If this car was actually broken down, I would place it dead center. This is my theory. Because now, not only we can see the car is broken, क्योंकि इसका जो engine है, bonnet, it's open. We can also feel that this guy is stuck in the middle of nowhere. He's or she's stuck, she's not going anywhere, right? So that's how placing your subject according to the rule of thirds can help you tell your story and have much more impact in your story, okay? So let's close that. I'm gonna go back to my screen and sharing pause, bring your share window to front, okay? All right, so we're back to the old screen, right? Rule of thirds के बारे में एक और बात आपको याद रखनी चाहिए. If it's a human face, Umar, आपको अब Lightroom आ रहा है? Can you see this person?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So human face. How do I use rule of thirds when it is just a portrait? Okay, I say, remember this, and never break this rule, by the way, unless you are getting really creative about something. Place your subject's eyes on the upper third. Okay, is upar wali line pe. Don't put these eyes in the center. Don't take this photo like this. This is a terrible photo. You do not want to place the two eyes in the middle of the frame. Jaise ye hai. If you go from top to bottom, this would be the center. So you don't want to put eyes here. So you always want to put person's eyes on the upper third, okay? And here is another picture of the person with a motion, and I left space in front of her. So you can feel she's moving. I don't want to get too deep into this, lekin just to give you one more idea, another rule, another part of rule of thirds would be horizon. Jahan pe sky or water milta hai na, right here somewhere. So let me just bring it closer. That too should be on either upper third or lower third. That too should never be in the center. These things can only be explained through photographs. So inshallah, in next few sessions, we will look at photos, we will look at your photos, and we'll figure out what can be done, what exactly I mean by that. So, because I don't want to do too much of that. So let me just get out of there. Don't want to give too much information, but I just want to tell you one more thing about the rule, and then we can move on. Look at that picture. You can see, can anybody figure out what's going on here? Isme mera jo subject hai, dead center. It's dead center. I just broke my own rule, right? So is it okay to do that? Yes. If your subject has symmetry, यानी कि अगर हम इसको बीच में काट के each side is same, almost the same, you can break the rule there. So that's why I placed it dead center, and then all these lines are going towards her, and it just works better for me. Again, you will have to play with your own shots and try to figure out कि कहाँ पे जाना है और कहाँ पे रखना है अपने subject को. This would be the same thing, like this subject here is symmetrical, right? ये जो building है, दोनों sides में same है. अगर हम इसको बीच में काटेंगे ऐसे, vertically, you will have two equal and same house. So we could place it dead center. It does work that way. Or we could just put it on rule of thirds. It's up to you. Whatever works for you. But that's probably one of the exceptions to the rule of third, which is universally recognized. Lekin rules are meant to be broken, and you are more than welcome to break them anytime you want. You want to break them. So I'm not going to go forward. I'm going to do more techniques next time. I'm just going to see if I missed anything. Yes, just one thing I just want to talk to you about in photography, and before we go ahead. This we'll talk about a lot. जो मैंने अभी आपसे story के बारे में बात की, this will keep going on and on every time we talk about techniques. I just wanted to share one thing before I give you 15 minutes of answering your questions. So, anticipation. You're going to get to a level in photography, eventually, inshallah, जहाँ पे you're not going to take pictures of things that you see. Not only that, you're going to take pictures of things that are about to happen. That's when you really know, you have mastered your art. And trust me, I'm struggling with this, but to some extent, I have been successful, but this is a long process. And this is like, it takes time. Okay, it takes time, but practice makes perfect. Anticipation, meaning, जो जबरदस्त photographers हैं बाहर, उनके जो इतने लोगों के amazing photos की इन्होंने ली कैसे? How did this person know that this was going to happen? Yes, the person knew this was going to happen. He may have known that like fraction of a second before it happened, but they do. This is an example I give to my students is, take, for example, a really famous and amazing sports personality. Let's say आपका Sachin Tendulkar, who was without any doubt world's one of the best batsmen, right? There's no doubt about that. So उसके caliber के लोग जो होते हैं, how are they so good? Okay, one thing they have for sure that makes them so good is anticipation. जब भी उनके सामने ball आती है ना, they can see that ball fraction of a second before most of the batsmen can see it. That comes with a lot of practice, and of course, a talent is there, but it can be learned. जैसे मैं आपको पहले कहा था. So he has developed an eye in such a way, or so that he can see that ball fraction of a second before it gets to him. So he's ready to do what he has to do with it. And it applies to tennis players and any sports person. But मैं आपको Tendulkar की example दे रहा हूँ because I know you guys know him. So that's what anticipation is. It's knowing what's about to happen. And anticipation comes from what? Anticipation comes from planning. अगर आपने पहले scene check किया हुआ है, it will help you in anticipation. आप देख रहे हो कि यार मुझे लोगों की तस्वीरें लेनी है in a candid way. So just read the scene and see where the people are coming from. Where are they going? Where is the light coming from? What is the best spot behind where I can use as a backdrop? Then all these scenes are going to come together for you. I'm going to show you a few examples and we'll take some questions. All right. Last time I showed you, I went to Rajasthan. So I found this really beautiful backdrop, right? And I know people are walking and I know something is about to happen. So I waited for people to show up. So this is my canvas. अगर आप लोग painting करते हो, it's exactly the same thing. This is my canvas. I'm waiting with a brush to paint on it. Okay. And also luck plays a big role. You have to have something nice show up, which, by the way, is the only difference between painting and people. Because in painting, you can come up with stuff whatever you want. In photography, you rely on something that is maybe out of your control. In this particular case, people were out of my control. I did not know what was going to show up. So for example, a very simple shot. She showed up, placed in my rule of thirds, and they are slow, her foot is down. And nice color contrast. This one turned out to be a little bit more interesting. Two humans walking, interacting, they don't know each other, by the way. So the way her foot is, the way this person has this thing on his head, and the color contrast, inki sari jo hai, piche blue, complementary colors, and everything sort of plays out. But that happened only when I had planned my shot. I waited for that shot. Ye bhi maine aapko last time dikhai. I picked this spot. I knew this was a really nice background. I knew that I have a door here and I want to place people in that door to frame them, okay? So that's what happened. She showed up, okay? I'm going to talk about anticipation in more detail, but I just want to touch up here. This is another shot that is my very, very favorite photograph. Okay, so I saw a bus come in and I saw people coming out of the bus. They were all senior citizens coming to visit this place. And I knew they were going to walk through this path. So I waited here. So no luck involved there. I knew they were going to come. But how did they get lucky? Is अगर आप गौर से देखें, ये बंदा जो हमारी तरफ देख रहा है, इस बंदे से मैच हो रहा है जो हमारी तरफ देख रहा है. Statue and this person match. Statue on the front and this person on the left match, right? So you have the balance. दो बंदू और दो स्टैचू की होगी. That was matter of luck. But luck comes to those people who try, who are out there to work hard and make it happen, right? But this picture worked for me. Now, finally, this would be the best example of planning. This was a birthday party. और birthday party में एक magician आया था. और वो magician इन बच्चों को, छोटे बच्चे थे इस बच्चे के age के, इनको magic show दिखाने वाला था. So what magicians do, they put a rope between kids and themselves so that children don't cross. क्योंकि कभी-कभी उनकी magic trick, expose भी हो सकती है. So they put a little rope. So everybody was sitting on the other side of the rope. And I knew where the magic was because I had planned it. मुझे पूरा पता था कि magic is not magician's magic. Magic is the expressions and the feelings on the faces of those children who are going to watch that magic show. This is a golden tip for you guys. जब भी आप कहीं जाते हो ना, unfortunately, because everybody has a camera, they see things through their camera. They do not enjoy whatever is happening. Terrible thing to do, okay? You can always see the magic show on YouTube. पता नहीं क्यों हम लोग अगर हम किसी का concert देखने जाएं या ऐसी magic trips देखने जाएं, magic shows देखने जाएं, what we do is we just pick up the camera and start recording. Why? Why do you do that? If you really wanted to see that magic show or that concert, you could always watch it on YouTube. If you actually really want to take pictures of people who are watching those shows. And don't take too much time. Enjoy the show too. All right, so I'm sitting on this side of the rope, opposite to these people. I have nothing to do with the magician. I don't care what he's showing. I want to know what is happening with these little kids. So I have like 4 photos to show you and then we can take questions. That's 1. 2, you see that? I mean, that is pure magic. And अगर ये बंदा किसी बंदे के ये बच्चे होते ना, this is a moment they don't want to forget. They don't want to miss. So most of the parents were sitting on the other side of the rope taking pictures of the magician. And they were missing what their children are doing, right? Here's one more. Just watch every single face, what they are doing. Okay, just pay attention to every single face. Oops, sorry. Okay, let's now go to next picture here. All right. He's amazed. He cannot believe what he just saw. Kitni story hai is photograph mein, hai na? When I'm telling you these things, I promise you, I'm not trying to tell you that I'm an amazing photographer, which I am not, okay? In your own Kashmir, I have seen the works of younger kids doing amazing things with their cameras. Okay, they just need a little polish. They just need a little help, a little guide. But I am trying to tell you that how do you identify your stories and how you can anticipate where your story is. This photograph में balance है. Heads are curved, turned in the same direction. Expressions are almost the same. And again, it wasn't possible if I hadn't planned it on time, right? Okay, so Umar Saab, that was my session for today. And I'm gonna go over to some of the questions that, before I do that, one of the students had sent me a couple of pictures. I just want to quickly touch those. Last time हम उनके साथ session किया था, and he had emailed me a few pictures. I think his name is, you gotta help me, my brother. Okay, let me see. can tell you what his name is. Give me 1 second. Mukhtar, I think. Amar, yes. Amar ibn Mukhtar. So अमार आपने मुझे ये तस्वीरें भेजी थी बेस्ड ऑन मैंने आपको ओवरव्यू दिया था मैंने आपको अभी टेक्निक सिखाई नहीं थी पूरी तरह से लेकिन आपने ये तस्वीरें भेजी हैं I'm going to talk about just 2 of those. आपकी ये वाली तस्वीर है I know exactly what you're trying to do and I'm really happy you're trying to do that. वो आप क्या कर रहे हो आप लीडिंग लाइंस क्रिएट कर रहे हैं और स्ट्रॉन्ग फोरग्राउंड यूज कर रहे हो. सो बॉटम में जो आपने जो बेस पे रखा है it's very prominent. It is taking us into the shot. Very nice. Okay. One tip I want to give you, Mukhtar, is अगर आप देखें from top to up to this rooftop, इतनी सारी blank space है ना, it's just not helping us much. In my opinion, I would sort of bring it down a little bit. Okay. So bring it down a little bit. You could have tilted your camera a little bit more down, shown more roof and less sky. अगर इस sky में ना जबरदस्त clouds होते, maybe I would have left it there. Yeah, sunset होता. But there's not much going on. I'm going to just crop it down a little bit. That's all I will do. So this is more compelling photo for me. आप समझ रहे हैं आप how the rooftop really takes me at the bottom, takes me into the shot, and I love how this pigeon is about to land. Very good thinking, nice planning. One more photo, and then we'll move on. I think it was this one. I want to show you this one. I know what you're trying to do here, and I'm really happy you're trying to do that. Foreground. He's playing with foreground. He's trying to put prominent things right in front of it. And I like that. It's working for you, and you're going in the right direction. And obviously, you can make it much better with time. Very nice job. And so, what I want you guys to do, everybody, is inshallah, take lots and lots of pictures, and send me 1, maybe 2 maximum. Do not bombard me with photos, okay? Because I won't be able to handle that. Maybe 1 or 2 photos based on 1, a story. It has something you are trying to tell me. 2, the rule of thirds. You are not placing your subject in this dead center. I just want to see just 2 things. If you want to add more to it, that's fine with me. But at least I want you to do at least those 2 things for now. ठीक है? Umar आपको देंगे एक email address, or maybe either he will collect it or you can just send it right away to me. Make sure you do it as soon as possible. Do not send it to me the day we are presenting. Okay, I need these photos at least 4 days or 5 days ahead of time. If you send it to me after that, I will not be able to show them to you क्योंकि मेरे पास time नहीं होगा to put them together and organize them, right? So please understand that, all right? If you cannot send me a picture, don't panic, because we will have more sessions and we will do more later. All right, good job, Amar, I'm sorry. So let's actually go now. I'm gonna go through these questions and see if there is a question there. So mostly salams, thank you so much. Walaikum salam, everybody. Bahut shukriya. I'm gonna just bring it to the front. And let me just stop sharing. All right. And I don't see any questions, which is okay. लेकिन अगर आपको है आपके पास questions, so just send them to me. Sometimes we don't. Actually, Shimael John, she's asking, sir, sometimes we don't have that much of time. We suddenly are called that please click a pic and how to make the picture unique without doing a lot of, oh, I think I answered this question, right? मैंने कहा आपसे कि आपको पहले लगेगा कि आपके पास इतनी सारी चीजें करने को होंगी. You know, you will have to think about this and that and that. But with time, this is going to be really fast. All these things will happen in seconds. Will you miss a shot? Will you miss a moment? Absolutely you miss. There are going to be moments you're going to miss. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. But this process will speed up. With practice, it will speed up and it will come to a point जहाँ पे आपको ज़्यादा सोचने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. आपका brain, जैसे driving होती है, आपने अभी driving नहीं कर रहे हो. Inshallah, once you start driving, सीखने में पहले आपको you have to remember brake कहाँ पर है, gear कहाँ पर है, lights कहाँ पर है, steering को क्या करना है, you know, clutch कहाँ पर है. So, but once you are good at driving, those things happen in a fraction of a second. Same thing with photography, right? So that was okay. Sometimes we can have a beautiful click and with simple camera or phone also. Absolutely, yes. Yes, you do not need a sophisticated camera. अच्छा कैमरा आपको एक लेवल पे आके काम आएगा, जहां पे आपको जब फोटोग्राफी एक और नेक्स्ट लेवल पे लेनी पड़ेगी, then you may have to invest into a nice camera. So I don't have any more questions here. If you do, please email it to me, and I'll be more than happy to. Somebody's
So,
saying, I have a question about particular picture in Kashmir Suhail Mirza has taken. Can I please ask him over the mic? Yes. Somebody wants to use the microphone. Who is this? YF.
this is Yunus Fazli Saab. I would request Faisal sir to unmute Yunus sir. Faisal sir, please unmute Yunus sir. Okay, so meanwhile, once you are unmuted, I wanted to, I think, keep it a bit structured. So we are going to provide you with an email ID, but one thing, you have to be very clear about, just have a couple of details so that it is easier for Suhail Saab also to just go through all the pictures that you are going to send. One is have your proper name and mention your class. Second one is write a few lines or explaining, your attempt in the picture, whatever you are trying to work on, and just have one or two pictures at most in each email. Don't send multiple emails. Just send one email with all these details. But yes, it should be 4 or 5 days ahead of time.
Okay.
So a lot of people might not be able to unmute themselves, but we have actually deliberately muted everybody just because there was a lot of interruption that happened in the past. I would request Yunus Saab to actually write it down, because I think Faisal Saab is not. So okay.
No,
Okay,
I'm unmuted. I'm
okay,
unmuted.
okay, Yunus sir. So please go ahead.
So, Yunus, before you ask me this question, let me just quickly answer. किसी ने पूछा था कि sir, distraction and anticipation, please give a brief overview. मैंने अभी बताया आपको, but I understand this is a topic जिसमें बहुत time लगेगा सीखने में. So what I'm going to do, Armina, Riaz, next session में I'm going to repeat that whole thing again. So don't worry about it. I'll inshallah explain it to you. Or Salik said there are certain pictures which look like they're moving. How is it possible? Motion, we're going to talk about inshallah next session. I will show you how to create motion and movement in those shots. Ji, Yunus, go ahead.
Suhail bhai, thank you very much. Firstly, for taking the time. I think we should call this our KEI or Photography Academy, basically,
Sure.
right? And we should take it forward. One of your
Absolutely.
favorite pictures that I also own is this picture of these two girls in a boat in Kashmir while it's raining. If you could pull it up, do you remember the picture that I'm talking?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I do remember the picture, and
if you have it
I'm
handy.
trying to figure out कि किस folder में है वो. Just let me give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find it out. That's about Kashmir, I guess. Should be here. Oh yeah, I found it. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen 1 second before.
I can see it in the background. That's the one.
Oh, you can see my screen?
Yeah, I can see the reflection. Yes, that's the one.
Okay, so I will go ahead and share my screen one more time. I don't know. Okay, I lost it. I have no idea. कहाँ पर है screen? So, all right, I found it. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just. Right, so everybody can see it. So, can you see it on full screen now?
Yes, we can, Suhail bhai.
Okay, good. So, what is your question?
I have two or three questions. I mean, on this particular picture, I love it. It's in my house, as you know, and it's going to be one of like my most cherished possessions. Can you tell us a little bit about how you set this picture up, where it was taken, from? And I mean, were you in a boat when you took it, or were you by the banks of the river body? And lastly, how have you applied the rule of threes in this picture?
Okay, very nice question. So पहला question था कि where am I? Okay, that I would say that's a really important question, because last time मैंने आपको कहा था कि include foreground in your shots so that people can tell where they are. Not always important, but if you can, do that. जब मैंने ये तस्वीर ली थी, I learned those things, to be honest with you, after that. I wish I had included part of the boat जिसमें मैं था in that shot. मैंने last time दिखाया आपको foreground, which we're going to talk about next week, how important foreground is. उसमें मैंने almost ऐसी तस्वीर खींची थी जिसमें मैंने boat भी दिखाया था. Yes, I was in a boat. That's number one. Number two, it was raining like crazy, and which is obvious in the shot क्योंकि उनके ऊपर दोनों के ऊपर umbrellas है. I love the fact that we cannot see their faces. That creates sort of mystery and gives a little bit of privacy to these children, which should always be your case. Rule of thirds is there is a little bit more room in the front than in the back. Actually, if you can see them, they are not dead center. They are on the left side of the row. Not exactly where they should have been. The boat should have been a little bit more back towards the left, but still, there is slightly more room in the front of the picture than on the back of the board. So when it rains, that would be the time to get some really creative photos. Don't sit at home. जब आप देखोगे कि ठंड है, बारिश है, बर्फ है, those are the pictures that are going to shine for two reasons. एक ये कि it adds atmosphere to the photo, right? दूसरा ये कि there are not that many photos of people of things out there when it's raining or snowing. Why? Because everybody's sitting at home, right? That's why they look unique. Yes, I hope that answers your question, Yunus.
It does, well. By just as a follow-up, I mean, can you share a couple more pictures from Kashmir for the benefit of our scholars, please?
Yes, I can do that. And
I know you cannot say no to me, so I'll take advantage of that.
नहीं, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है. I will stop sharing and I'll go back to see if I can pull some more pictures from here. Just give me 1 second.
Suhail bhai, because it's also one of the Kashmiri pictures, can you please get that you must monji chupetkin kunni naimans?
That must be Sabzar, is it?
That's the Suhail bhai Faisal.
Oh, Faisal, I'm sorry. Okay. Sabzar bought that picture. That's what I'm saying that. I'm not sure of the Manji picture I can find that, but maybe next time. But let me just put some of these pictures in a different folder so I can show those to you. I will probably do one of the slideshows at some point, just saying Sirf Kashmir ki tasveer hongi. But these are some that are on my desktop, taken many years ago. I don't think you will see new ones there. They're mostly Dal Lake. So I'm sorry, it's going to take a little while. Okay. Thumbnails. Okay. So let me share the screen with you so you guys can see some of these pictures are actually, these are really old photos, okay? They're like 15, 20-year-old photos. Probably the time when I was trying to figure out how photography works. I have more photos, inshallah. Next week, I'll show those to you. Just go through them real quick. They're all Dal Lake. They're all when there was really bad rain. It was raining, there were clouds, and this you just saw. This picture I love. I think it was on Picture of the Week on National Geographic one time website. So everything else is just nothing special here. But Yunus and Faisal, inshallah, next time, I promise, I will collect all Kashmir photographs and I will show those to you. All right, so Omar, back to you.
Yeah, so thank you, Faisal sir and Yunus sir. So we actually have a couple of questions.
Okay.
We have a caller, her name is Naila. I would like to make a special mention about her. She's an artist. She has actually, helped us a lot with her artistic skills in enhancing our workshops. And we have created a small scholars room in our Kashmir Education Initiative office. But everything that the work, that artistic work was done by Naila. So she had a question. Actually,
yeah, I'm reading. Yeah, I read it. I got the question.
Okay. I think I would request you to read it out to everybody so that everybody.
Yes, I will. So, Walaikum Salam, Naila. पूछ रही हैं कि actually, whenever I make the landscape paintings, I was asked by my teacher to put your horizon at the center in order to make your paintings more realistic. But you said that you are supposed to take horizon at upper line, sir. Please explain. Okay. So, anyways, Naila, I don't want to get into what your teacher told you because I respect every teacher. Everybody has her own style. This is a rule that whenever there is horizon in the photograph, you do not want to divide your photo horizontally into two parts, equal parts, upper and lower. Okay, because that is not that looks dead, and it definitely does not give what your teacher has told you. That's what the general rule is. Maybe your teacher has some other take on it, and I completely respect that, and I'm not saying he's wrong. He could be right. But technically speaking, जब भी आपके पास horizon होगा ना, you have two options. You either place it on the upper third or lower third, depending on कि आपके foreground में ज़्यादा चीजें हैं या background में ज़्यादा चीजें हैं. अगर आपके background में ज़्यादा story है, that means you want to show more background. That means you want to put your horizon on the lower third. There is one exception to placing horizon in the center, like you said. That is when there is a mirror image. अगर आप, for example, reflection है, दोनों चीजें exactly same नजर आ रही हैं पानी में, for example. That would be a good spot, good place to place horizon dead center. But my style, and as far as I know from my teachers and my experience, horizon should not be placed dead center. You should not divide your photo horizontally into two equal halves. It's not, that's not the right approach. I would recommend you do this. You look at a painting, since you're a painter, look at the paintings of famous painters and see what they do. If that's what they do, go for it. But in photography, normally you don't do that. And photography rules and landscape rules are almost the same. But having said all that, the rules are meant to be broken. If the center horizon works for you for some reason, go for it. You are the best judge of your own pictures. Okay. You may say, no, the dead center looks good to me. 10 years down the road, you say, wait a second, I think I was making a mistake. Your view, your vision might change down the road. So never get locked into something that somebody told you. Use your own vision also and change things according to what you think is good for you. What do you think looks good to you? And trust me, there's going to come a time when your brain is going to tell you what's right and what's wrong. It will tell you. And so you'll get there. So was there any other question, Omar?
So there are a couple of questions that I had received privately.
Mhm.
One was a question that somebody wrote to me is, if we are taking multiple pictures at a time and still we fail to get a story in the picture, what should we do to that?
Oh, I guess the question is, what if I want to use more than one photo, right? To
No,
tell a
no. I
story?
think the question is. I think the question is sometimes what I understood from it is sometimes we try to click in search of clicking a right picture. We click multiple pictures. So I think what I'm getting from this is not being knowledge. Having enough knowledge about storytelling through pictures is what the question is all about. For example, I think if you can explain and write a bit more about it, but जितना मैंने समझा वो ये था कि ये कहना चाह रहे हैं कि बहुत बार हम बहुत सारी पिक्चर्स लेते हैं बट आखिर में उसमें भी कोई पिक्चर अच्छी नहीं आती. So that is what the question is.
Yeah, if that's your question, I can fully appreciate that. Okay, let me give you an example. Sometimes I go out, I come home with 400, 500, 600 to 1,000 photos, and I end up using nothing. Nothing, absolutely nothing, because it just doesn't work. Nothing works. It can happen. And one time, inshallah, next week, I'll show you that photo. Actually, I've already shown that to you one time, but I'll show it again. एक दफा मैं गया, I left home at 6 o'clock in the morning, all right? और मैं शाम के 8:30 बजे घर पहुंचा. I took actually two photographs. दो photo मैंने लिए in about 12 or 14 hours. That's it I was able to take. I just didn't work. There was nothing out there. Even though it was a beautiful place, it just didn't work. Nothing was working. It can happen. That's what art is about, okay? That's what artist is about. You are not supposed to go there and magically, every time you take a picture, it's going to work. It will not work all the time. हर साल मैं 40,000 photos लेता हूँ, for example, 30, 40,000 photographs. My viewers will see 20 or 40 of those maximum. Doesn't mean all those other photos are bad. They're terrible. I said bad photo doesn't exist, but those are the 10 or 40 or 50 photographs that I think are worth showing to people. Don't get discouraged if you fail to get what you're looking for. You have to be always in search of better and better and better. That's how you get better. Okay, I hope that was your question.
Yeah. So I think I would like you to mention about your academy also, because that is going to be productive for a lot of people who definitely want to go above and beyond our sessions.
Yeah.
And it will definitely give them more idea about your work also. So I think a
Yes.
quick mention about that, then we can take a structured photo thing that we spoke about or emails from them. We'll mention what we really want in that email. A quick mention about your academy, please.
Sure. So let me just okay, I just shared the website in chat, and I'm going to share my email address one more time. Somebody is asking for email. There's my email too. So तकरीबन 2015 में while teaching in a school, actually मेरे बच्चे जाते थे वहाँ पे. So वहाँ पे I'm not sure if that is the system in Kashmir also. It may be in other parts of the country, and I think it should be a system. पहले तो मतलब I really don't want to talk about things that I know don't apply to lots of people. Inshallah, जब आपके schools फिर शुरू होंगे, everything runs smoothly, inshallah. You're going to be able to go back to school and start. हमारे यहाँ पे क्या system है, अमेरिका में, parents बहुत involved हैं schools. They take a lot of initiatives. They teach stuff for free. So, and they get involved. तो मैंने भी जब मेरे बच्चे छोटे थे 2015 में, So I offered my services to the school जहाँ पे मेरे बच्चे जाते थे. मैंने उन्हें कहा कि I'll be more than happy to teach children photography. उन दिनों मैं वैसे खुद भी सीख रहा था. But that turned out to be probably one of the best moves I have ever made. Because of that, Mir Academy was born. So Mir Academy, जहाँ पर अब हम adults को और बच्चों को दोनों को photography सिखाते हैं. So it has turned into a little bit of income also. But that's how I started in 2015. Now I have few teachers. अभी तो थोड़ा सा slow है obviously. मेरे academy में updates बहुत नहीं आए हैं बहुत देर से. But there is some information for you who I am. Some of the tips that I just talked to you about, resources में वो भी हैं. You can go and visit that. But not everything is there. I am more than happy. I just want to tell this to KEI to give you as many sessions as you want, to teach you, like Yunus just said, we will have our own KEI Photography Academy. I don't mind doing that. I would love to do that for you so that you don't really, I will bring photography to you rather than you go to my website and search for things. I will bring that to you. If you are really interested, yes, we can do that. And then we can do lots of things with this, inshallah, in near future when things get a little better.
Okay. Thank you so much, Suhail Saab. I think a quick mention about one thing, that everybody can know. We are creating a separate gallery of photographers that Suhail Saab is going to shortlist some of the good pictures with definitely your story in it. We'll definitely put them on our pages and social media portals, and in fact on our website as well. So from now till next session, what I would request you all to have, spend some time out, maybe half an hour, maybe 1 hour, try to, search for a good story around your house, in your ambience. And apart from that, I would request you to go through meeracademy.org. The reason is I have gone through it, and trust me, you are going to have an understanding about a lot of things by just sliding through the pictures that lie there. And next thing is, once you are going to email, I quickly want to mention, please send just one email. One scholar should send one email. It should have your name, three important things. One, it should have your name and your class mentioned at the first place. Second thing is, it should have one or at most two pictures. And third thing is, it should have a short description of what you really wanted to capture in that picture. Just one email from one scholar. Don't send multiple emails. Just spend some time, shortlist some pictures, write a couple of lines explaining your thought on in capturing that picture, and then email it to on Suhail sir's email ID. So for today, we had muted a lot of scholars, and I really want to thank all of you for one thing, that you have actually been patient enough. A lot of people wanted to ask questions. We tried to take all the questions, and I think today, because now we know that if we have some questions, we have recording with us, we are going to share it with all of you. And in case we are not sharing it, you all are not finding it in your WhatsApp group or anywhere, just go to Kashmir Education Initiative YouTube channel. You can find it there. And apart from that, one important thing is, don't miss out on coming sessions. We are definitely going to certify all of you after you complete all the sessions of photography with Suhail Mir sir. And one more thing, we are going to have one amazing session that is going to come after this session in a couple of days. Do join. And it is very important that you mention your in your feedback, whatever you understand from these sessions. We are going to circulate a feedback in in next 24 hours with all of you. Write about your learnings from these sessions, write about how these sessions are adding value to your life. And last but not the least, I would request all of you, and including me and Yunsar and Faisal sir, to thank Suhail sir for this amazingly structured session. And
and we today, I'm not moderating, I'm also learning, and I know Yunus sir also joined because he wanted to attend the session, and Faisal sir too, and in fact Fayaz sir too. So we have all been students for today, and we have definitely learned a lot, and we are surely going to learn in coming sessions also. So thank you so much, Faisal sir, and thank you so much everybody, including Faisal sir, for helping me out with the coordination part. So your final comments, Suhail sir, and then we'll close the
Yes.
session.
So
You need to unmute yourself, Suhail sir. You need to unmute yourself.
okay, you can hear me now. All right, good. हाँ, तो last time किसी ने पूछा था कि we have lockdown and what are the things we can do inside. Unfortunately, I was planning on actually putting few things together about that. लेकिन आप बहुत सारी चीजें हैं घर में जिसकी आप तस्वीरें खींच सकते हो. Just start with some products, pick up few things, and try to place them on different locations with a background and see if you can create stories. Agar, for example, um, food on a table, you know what I mean? और कांगड़ी है, जो भी चीज आप देख सकते हो घर में, just pick it up, place it in different locations, shoot it from different angles and देखें कि कहाँ से वो तस्वीर स्टोरी बता रही है और कहाँ से वो अच्छी लग रही है. You can do that. और take lots of photos for this assignment, or then pick couple and send them to me. Anytime you have questions, just shoot me an email. Also, ma'am, on Facebook, when you go on Facebook, I do not use a lot of chat there. So I know some students want to chat with me, and I would love to chat with you, but unfortunately, I don't use a lot of chat on Facebook. I find sometimes it gets a little too much for me. So I try to answer as many people as I can through chat. But the best way to connect with me is through emails. That way I can give you a structured answer. I think that would be a better way of doing it. So, but I really appreciate all that love and respect you're giving me. And I want to tell you again, I'm not doing you any favor. This is something that you deserve. This is something is due to you. And we are blessed that we're able to share. And that's what KI is about. Inshallah, jab aap seekhoge, you're going to get better at it. You will pass it on to other people, right? That's the whole point of being on this earth for human beings, is to learn and pass it on, right? This is my duty to do it. So I'm not doing you any favor. My pleasure all the time, anytime. So inshallah, stay safe and take care of yourself. And I will see you probably next week. Khuda Hafiz.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Khuda Hafiz, everybody.
Okay.